All right, let's talk about something most of us know all too well. That feeling you get after a long day at your desk, right? That little ache in your shoulder that kind of grows into a full-on battle just to get comfortable. But what if I told you your workspace could actually make you feel, well, better? That's what we're diving into today. We're going to see how we can tame that desk and turn it into a powerhouse for your health and, you guessed it, your productivity.
So, does this question hit a little too close to home? I mean, that nagging ache in your lower back or that crick in your neck that just won't go away? It's kind of crazy, right? The one thing that's supposed to support us all day long often feels like it's actively working against us. But here's the good news. This is a problem we can absolutely 100% solve. And this isn't just about feeling a bit sore. It's a huge deal for businesses too. Think about this. For every single dollar a company spends on an injury you can see, they can end up spending up to $4 on all the stuff you don't see. Things like lost productivity and just general unhappiness. So yeah, that pain in your neck, it's not just your problem. It's actually a massive drain on the whole system. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First up, we'll dig into the real cost of all this discomfort. Then, we're going to figure out what workplace ergonomics even means. After that, we'll unlock the secret of something called neutral posture. It's a game changer. Then we get to the good stuff, a super simple 4-step guide to setting up your own workstation. And we'll wrap up with some smart habits that'll make all of this stick.
All right, let's kick things off with our first section. What exactly is workplace ergonomics? We're talking about the science of a better workday.
When you boil it all down, it's actually a pretty simple idea. Ergonomics is basically the science of designing things so that we, the people using them, can do so efficiently and safely. It's all about making the work fit the person instead of trying to force the person to fit the work.
And this image here, it just nails the concept perfectly. At its core, it's a human-centered science. It's not about you adapting to your desk. It's about the desk adapting to you. Everything, the chair, the keyboard, the whole setup is designed around the person. It's a complete shift in how we think about work.
Okay, moving on to our next big topic, the power of neutral posture. Seriously, if you take one thing away from this, it might be this. Think of it as your body's natural home base.
So, what in the world is a neutral posture? Well, it's that sweet spot where your muscles are basically at their natural resting length. They're not being stretched, they're not tensed up, they're just chilling. This is the position where your body can work with the most control and the least amount of effort. It's the gold standard we're aiming for. Let's make this visual. Check out the back. On the left, you've got that nice, natural S-curve. That's neutral. On the right, well, that's what most of us end up doing. All that slouching, bending, and twisting. That's what we want to avoid.
Same idea for the shoulders. See how the one on the left is just relaxed, hanging naturally? Compare that to the awkward positions on the right, reaching up or forward. You can almost feel the strain just looking at it, can't you?
And oh boy, this is a big one, the wrists. The goal is a nice straight line from your forearm through your hand. All those bent and awkward angles you see on the right, that's a one-way ticket to repetitive strain injuries.
And here's where we see the whole picture. The difference is just so clear, isn't it? The person on the left is working with their body's natural design. The one on the right, well, their body is basically at war with their workspace, with every muscle fighting just to stay in that position. It's a night and day difference.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get to the how. It's time for your 4-step workstation setup. This is where we get practical and give you a guide you can literally use the second this is over.
But before we jump into the steps, I want you to hear this quote from Allison Heller-Ono. She says, "Chairs are foundational to good office ergonomics. If the chair isn't right, the ergonomics will never be right." That says it all, doesn't it? Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the chair.
So keeping that in mind, here are the 4 simple steps we're going to walk through. 1. Adjust your chair. 2. Position your keyboard and mouse. 3. Set your monitor. And 4. Organize your work area. That's it. Easy.
Okay, step 1, your chair. This is your foundation. First thing, get your feet flat on the floor. You might need to raise or lower your chair to do this. Your thighs should be about parallel with the floor, and you want to make sure you can feel your lower back being fully supported by the backrest. That's your starting point.
All right, on to step 2, keyboard and mouse. Let your arms hang relaxed at your sides. Your elbows should be at roughly a 90-degree angle, give or take. You want your keyboard and mouse right there, at or maybe just a little below elbow height. This lets you keep your wrists straight and your elbows tucked in close. The key here is no reaching.
Step 3 is the monitor. And this one is so simple, but so many of us get it wrong. Here's what you do. Sit back and look straight ahead. The very top of your screen, or maybe the top line of text, should be right at or just below your eye level. This one little adjustment stops you from looking down or craning your neck up all day long. And finally, step 4. Let's organize your desk space. Think about your desk in zones. Your usual work zone is right in front of you. That's for your keyboard and mouse. Then you have a zone just beyond that, easy to reach without stretching. That's where you put stuff you use often, like your phone or a notebook. Everything else, it can go further away. This whole system is designed to stop you from constantly reaching and twisting.
Okay, last section. We've got our setup dialed in. But we're not done yet. Let's talk about smarter habits, because ergonomics is about more than just a one-time setup. It's about how you work day in and day out.
So, here's the thing. Your body was made to move. So let's build some healthy habits into your day. Try to change your position every half hour or so. Even just standing up for 15 seconds, a few times an hour, makes a difference. If you're on the phone a lot, get a headset. It's a lifesaver for your neck. And try this. Float your hands over the keyboard instead of planting your wrists on the desk. All these little things, they seem small, but when you do them consistently, they add up to a huge win for your body.
So, let me leave you with this one last question to think about. Your workspace is a tool, just like a hammer or a laptop. And the big question is that tool working for you, or is it working against you? Because after everything we've talked about today, you now have everything you need to make sure it's always working for you.